habituated. You're habituated to think about your kids, to think about your husband, to think about the grocery list, to think about when the garbage day is, to think about your errands you have to run, think about the emails you have to answer. We're habituated to shift our attention from one thing to the next. We have this mobile thing called awareness, And so we habituate ourselves into shifting our attention very quickly so that we can get a lot of stuff done. And when you do that, your brainwaves kind of amplify into a higher aroused state called high beta brainwaves. And that's good. That's good if you need to be alert. But as those thoughts come in, I don't really care that they come in. I'm just noticing they're coming in, but they're not the thoughts I want to put my attention on. So as you begin to have those thoughts coming in and you start applying a way to change your brainwaves, in the beginning, just like when you work out, in the beginning, I don't want to do this, it hurts, and then halfway through the workout, you're totally involved in it, and your fatigue is gone, you're not thinking about anything else, you're clear. Well, you keep doing it. Our research shows that, and we just had a group of scientists study a bunch of our brain scans at Bond University in Australia. Thousands and thousands of brain scans. She called me up and she said, we have never seen a community of people have the ability to change their brainwaves so quickly. Like 4 seconds, 5 seconds, in 9 seconds. They've practiced it enough times that they know how to silence the critic in their brain. That thinking is the analytical mind. And as you learn how to change your brainwaves, that default mode network, that voice in your head goes away. And our research shows that it goes away during the meditation, and then it goes away for the majority of the day. So nobody's saying to you, you can, it's too hard, you're too much like your mother, you're never going to change, it didn't work last time. That's silenced in the brain. So it's not so much that you have to try to get those thoughts out of there. You just know that they're going to come, and you keep directing your thought at something else, and you keep applying the formula. Sooner or later, the chatter just goes away, and that's the relief. And you practice it, then you know when you're there and you know when you're not. And so when I do my inner work, the most important thing for me is to settle into that present moment, because when there's significant biological changes that are taking place in the brain and the heart, sometimes you feel so amazing you don't want anything any longer. You feel like you have everything, and that's what I call the natural state of being. There's coherence, high level of order in the brain. The brain is synchronized, it's orderly. The heart is synchronized, it's orderly. It's driving new energy to the brain. Once energy moves into the heart, our research as well as other research shows that it amplifies energy into the brain. Now you have a different awareness. You're feeling differently, you're thinking differently, because you're at a different level of consciousness. So getting to that point where you're self-regulated, you no longer live in lack, you no longer live in separation. In fact, you're no longer needing anything out there to bring you joy or happiness. It's actually coming from within. So now you're more tolerant with people, you're less reactive. You don't really want to emotionally react because you like the way you feel. And our research shows that people's oxytocin levels, or love chemicals, are way higher than the average person. Well, that's because you are what you practice. So every day they practice opening their heart. In survival, in stress, not a time to open your heart, right? It's time to run, fight, or hide. Yeah. So we close that down. We stop trusting that, and we stop trusting ourselves, and no energy is in there. And so, of course, there's all kinds of health conditions that are a result of that. So then you practice opening your heart every day, and you say, I'm not getting up till I feel like I'm in love with life. Well, now game is on. You're out of the bleachers. You're on the field. And in the beginning, it takes a little work, but over time, you start practicing that. All of a sudden, when you feel that way, and you're no longer needing it from your outer world, you're going to be more unconditional with everybody in your life, because you're not going to want to lose this feeling. You're going to say, I feel so good that I'll forgive you. I don't really care, because nothing's worth losing this feeling. And so people work for it, and they covet it, and they learn how to maintain it. And it's not just about doing the meditation and then getting up and getting on the freeway and flipping people off or judging your coworker the next moment. You're doing that meditation to change your state of being, and then your job is to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day. And when you do, get ready. Something unusual, something different, some synchronicity, some coincidence, some opportunity is going to show up in your world. That's the law. And then all of a sudden, you start believing you're more of the creator of your life and less of the victim of your life. Because victimization is like, why are you unhappy? All because of this person or that thing. And what you're really saying from a biological standpoint is something out there. I'm allowing something out there to control how I feel and how I think, and that's a victim. So when you start to see how you think and how you feel begins to produce an effect in your life, you start believing less that you're a victim and more that you're the creator of your life. And that's when people start getting empowered, and they say, wow, I didn't do anything. It just kind of came to me, of course, because nobody changes until they change their energy. And when you change your energy, you change your life. And changing your state of being with a clear intention and an elevated emotion is producing a very dramatic change in the field. And your job is to be able to maintain it independent of the conditions in your environment, independent of the chemical, emotional, habitual needs in your body, and independent of time. And being able to do that for an extended period of time, you start to see the universe start to give you feedback. And when you start measuring, wow, you at cause, then you wake up in the morning and you want to do it. It's not like, oh, geez, I got to go create my life. Yeah. It's not like that. It's more like, oh my God, the magic's happening. I don't want to stop. I don't want to lose the magic. I want to keep going. And so people are enthusiastic and theos, filled with God. You know, they're inspired to create. And I think that we are naturally creators. And so we see profound changes in people's body and their brain and in every level when they just keep practicing. So, well, first of all, the meditations that we do are not based on any tradition. Our meditations are based on brain science and heart rate variability and all the things that we've studied. So we have different meditations for different things, you know. But a simple thing to do, really simple, it's such an easy thing, is when you wake up in the morning, instead of remembering your problems and getting into those feelings or getting up and doing your routine, sit up, close your eyes, and ask yourself, okay, who do I want to be today? And say, okay, before I create this new person, let me just take a moment and let me just become conscious of the thoughts that I think that don't support me any longer. I can, it's too hard, I'll start tomorrow. You start writing those thoughts down, becoming familiar with those. Then you review your behaviors, even how you speak. Do you complain? Do you make excuses? Do you feel sorry for yourself? Do you procrastinate? Do you judge other people? Just get a list and write those down. Look at the emotions that cause you to fall to a lower denominator every day, and just become aware of those and review those thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. Become so familiar to them, so conscious of them, that you won't go unconscious to them in your waking day. Now, that is the process. That's to know thyself. And it's amazing because you could actually anticipate the thought before it's coming when you get good at this. You're like, oh, no, I'm not going to go there, because you're so aware of those thoughts now, because nerve cells that no longer fire together no longer wire together. So you begin to dampen down the connections in your brain that have to do with the old self. You're no longer having the same thought that's producing the same chemical that's signaling the body to feel a certain way. You're disrupting that process. In the beginning, yeah, that's uncomfortable. The body's been in that familiar state. Then if you say, okay, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain? And you have those thoughts and put all of your attention behind them. What behaviors? How am I going to be with my husband? How am I going to be at work? How am I going to be on the phone today? Who am I going to make a difference with? And start to review. Just review. Think about and plan who you're going to be. And then you say, okay, what emotions am I going to live by the entire day? Let the test begin. That no person, no thing is going to steal my joy today. I'm not going to mismanage my attention and lose the love that I feel now. And you start working on those emotional states and just say, I'm not getting up until I feel that feeling. Now, that little small exercise of just deciding who you no longer want to be and reviewing who you do want to be takes 20 minutes. And you get up and you feel better. And your body begins to make a whole different set of chemicals, the whole pharmacy of chemicals that really start to make you see reality differently. We don't see things how they are, we see things how we are. So when you change who you are, you're going to get a broader spectrum of the way the world really is. And look, people who are unhappy with themselves are unhappy with everybody. People who hate other people, they hate themselves. People who judge other people, they're always judging themselves. People who love themselves love other people. People who are happy with themselves are happy with other people. And you can say to me, well, it was this person or that thing that did it to me 25 years ago. And I'm going to say to you, wow, that means you haven't changed in 25 years. That experience was the end of your evolution, because when you say that person or that experience did it to me, you're saying I stopped growing and changing in that moment. And the stronger the emotion you feel, the more altered you feel, the more you put your attention on that person. So then it makes total sense then that the latest research on memory says that 50% of what we talk about in our past isn't even the truth, that memory's creative. We make stuff up. Yeah, there's research on memory that says that when you tell a story of your past, that you don't have the same brain that you did at that moment, that 50% of that you embellish. So then that means people are reliving a miserable life that they never even had, just to reaffirm the fact that they're stuck in their past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because they want to condition their body. Conditioning process just requires a symbol, a thought, a stimulus, and a feeling. And so you remember the event, you feel the emotion, you're conditioning your body more into the past. And yeah, you're right. But valid or not, let's take that person, let's put him in a rocket and shoot him to the moon. Now what? What do you want to do now?
Yeah.
I mean, you're still left with you, right? And so then what we know is that getting people out of that state, bringing them up to the present moment, when they start letting go, when they finally let go, the freedom that they feel, the joy that they feel, causes them to naturally feel these elevated emotions. So the overcoming process, that is such an important element, because most people, I just want to focus on the positive. I don't want to really, well, no. If 95% of you is an unconscious set of programs, you got to become conscious of them so you don't go unconscious during your normal day, because you'll go right back into the unconscious habit and thinking the same way, acting the same way, feeling the same way, and wondering why your life isn't changing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the work.
Wow, what a great video! I hope you enjoyed this amazing interview with Dr. Joe Dispenza. We are continuing with our daily practice of completing the inspiring quotes. You need to complete the quote with the words that are missing, and if you can do it first and give us the right answer, you're the daily winner. In the previous video we were looking for 2 words of Joe Dispenza's quote. The quote goes like this: meditation opens the door between the conscious and... The correct answer is subconscious mind. So, meditation opens the door between the conscious and subconscious mind. Congratulations to everyone with the right answer. We only had a few wrong answers. Since I know you love Joe Dispenza, today's quote is from Joe Dispenza also. We are looking for 2 words. So the quote goes like this: if you become aware of your automatic habits and you are conscious of your unconscious behaviors, so you cannot go unconscious again, then you... Write your answers in the comments below the video and tell me if you love this video and our new way of ending the videos. If you love this video, give your thumbs up and share it with your friends. Help me make this video more popular by sharing it. Even if you're not sure what the right answer is, try and guess. The first one with the correct answer is the winner. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss my new videos and new challenges. If you really like what we do here and want to support us, you can join our channel and our community for a symbolic fee and gain many other additional features. You can do that by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can click on the link in the description.